Hearty welcome to all of you. In this video, we are about to see the key elements of a resume. Means what are the elements that have to be presented while we are preparing a resume. We know that resume is in brief manner explains the employer to whom we are applying about ourselves in terms of objectives, education, our experiences, so many things. But even though there are so many aspects if we see in the literature, but in this video we are going to concentrate mainly on only the 6 points that are very important. Very first of them is personal information. Here, while you're giving a personal information, that is contact information, we should provide the both the present address as well as permanent address, such that whereas permanent address is optional, but it will be helpful while we are shifting from one address to the another address, the letters might reach to the permanent address. And it must also have the telephone number, mobile number, email address, all these things. Without any deviation, they must be very accurate. Next, objective. Here, in simple terms, we should mention what is the goal. We should give a small summary why we are searching for this particular job. It must be related to the specific job that we are applying, and it must not be any vague in nature. It must be specific. It can be called as also a goal statement. Educations and certifications. When we come to education and certifications, we can provide starting from our high schools to date of towards the graduations, post graduations, as well as we can also provide some certifications, courses that might be helpful for that particular specific job. Try to keep it in mind that never ever try to add the certificates which are not necessary, but also keep it in mind that do not remove the certifications which might provide you this job, like some certification courses provided by some MOOC providers throughout the world, like Coursera, edX, like NPTEL in India. Like there are so many courses. Now, after education and certifications, and keep them very brief manner, and don't put the course highlights which are not respect to the specific job. Later, concentrate on the experience. See, if you are a very fresher, there is no chance of adding experience. But if you are a fresher, in the experience column, you can add the internships that have carried out throughout your graduation, which specifically pinpoints about the particular job you have chosen to apply for. If not, better to avoid the internships which are not connected to the specific job. Similarly, if you are an experienced one, you have to provide the work-related points here. Like even you can add volunteer works also. Sometimes the volunteer work that have provided might be helpful in the specific. While giving out the experience, clearly you have to identify these things. Like you have to put down the title of the job, what you have done there, the organization, the place, dates, from where, from to from which date you have started the job and which date you have left the job, and brief out the expertise you have used in that job. that has to be provided in that experience column. And also with the experience column, you can add some of the points like activities that you have carried out, if any. Later, you can add skills. In the skill column, you have to provide the both soft skills as well as hard skills. Sometimes, like if you are a hard working person, you are very enthusiastic in the work, you are a team worker, like that, you have to mention. And also, when it comes to hard skills, you must present you are very good at tackling the people through your speeches, as well as you are very good at writing the briefs, as well as you should be given that you can do these programming subjects that you can handle easily. The tools with respect to the particular job that you are applying for, you know them very well or not. Better you only mention those skills which you are very comfortable with. Better not to put down all the things and make it a messy one. And also, while coding the skills, you can add as a subsection in skills, there is hobbies or activities, like what you have done in your graduation day, what was your position there. For example, it might be related to your curricular or extracurricular also. Sometimes some of the jobs might need not only curricular skills as well as extracurricular skills also. That is the reason why you can provide both. And last but not the least is the references. You can provide minimum 2, maximum 4. Some people say that you can provide more references, but more references will spoil the entire meaning of the resume. Better to add 2 to 4. Minimum is best. Here, what type of references I must add? That is the very biggest question that comes into your mind while you are adding the references. In the references column, always better to choose your professor, that is your faculty, those who have handled the subjects, as well as you can add the project guides, that is supervisors who have handled your project work in your graduation days, because they know you very well. As well as you can add your team leader or your supervisor in your previous job if you are applying as an experienced candidate. Sometimes you can add few people who can give a good reference to your character, like with whom you have worked, with whom you have been carried out. It is that you have to mention in a way that you have to mention their name, how they are related to you, which organization they are working for, their info like mobile number or contact numbers or email ID. These things are very essential while giving out the references. Keep it in mind, the references must be known to you very, very well. Better you have to contact them that you are providing those people references in your resume. Then you go ahead by adding their contact. It can be your professor, it can be your supervisor from the past job, it can be your supervisor in the project that you have carried out in your graduation or other post-graduation days, or the faculty whom you know very, very well. We can add these things in the references. Along with these 6 elements of resume, a few things you have to keep it in mind. That is, already we have discussed in the previous video in this playlist about resume versus curriculum vitae, that a resume must be limited to only 2 pages, not more than 2. If it is sufficient that you can put it in 1 page, okay, not a problem. You can put it in 1 page. Otherwise, you can take it to 2 pages. And better you don't put all your identity numbers, like depending upon the country you are living in, the identity cards, the driving licenses, your health cards, medical cards, all these things never ever use. And always keep it in mind that never use a word called, never use a word I, because means never means you can use it, but never put a focus on it. Keep it as very clear. And better you can use some of the English professors at your place, or the faculty or people who are very fluent with the English, to have your resume to be proofread in a clear manner, that there are no errors. And let me give you more than this. There are so many things you can add into your resume, but these 6 points are very important. That is personal info, objective, education and certifications, experiences, if any, the skills and references. Let me explain you once again. Resume is a one piece of info that explains the employer about your important points, like your info, your objectives, your experience, education, skills, all these things in a very clear manner, that they must find that you are the suitable person for the job they have opted for. In this way, only you can go for your job. Now, there might be so many, and more than that, it is better you keep your resume very simple, and you have to be simple and minimalism, and all the things what you put are must be relevant to the job you are applying for. And I hope this video might help you to prepare your resume who are applying for the organizations. It would be helpful for freshers as well as who are applying as an experienced candidate. I request all of you to kindly forward this video, like, provide your feedback, comments, share this to your friends and groups, as well as support us by subscribing our channel and providing us a positive feedback, such that we can give you more number of good videos in the near future. Thank you for listening to our video.